From zero to clean lines, watch the magic happen. Pixels turn to profit, yeah, that's pure design alchemy. Late nights, bright screens, we don't do the average. Vismiles Design Academy, learn it, then you brand it.
Alright guys, so in this particular video, I'm going to be showing us the whole interface of Alight Motion. So now here's Alight Motion app here. If you've not downloaded yours, this is the app and it's available for iOS and Android. Okay, then if you want to download it for iOS user, you can just quickly go to your app store and download. Then if you're using Android, you could use the one sent already on the group, or go to Chrome or any other browser you use. Now this is for you to be able to access the premium version of the app for free. All right, you go to Chrome and search for Alight Motion, like this, Alight Motion. Okay, Alight Motion mode app. So here is my previous search. This is what you want to do. Oh, sorry. Alight Motion mode. So this is what you want to search for. Okay, you want to look for something like this. This way you'll be able to download the premium version and have access to all premium features in Alight Motion for free. Alright, so it's just basically the cracked version of the app, and you don't have to pay that much money, or you don't have to pay at all. So once you open Alight Motion, it's going to display the logo, the brand logo, this stuff, and sometimes it might show you this some ads because of where I updated mine from, but I just cancel it. And here's what you see. So we'll start from the top left, from the top rather, not top left. From the top here we have, you see this hamburger icon and the account icon and their logo. Right, then where do I start? If you can read this on your own later, you can watch a tutorial, download the projects, and there are other adverts here in this session. So by default it's going to be in the home session, which is here. By default it's going to come on to the home session. In the hamburger session you have the settings where you could enhance and enable low quality preview, demo mode, and you could also set your default layer duration. So what this means is that once you create a new layer, by default it's going to be 2 seconds. You can increase it to 1 or decrease to 1, increase to 3, and so on, but I like to stay with the defaults and increase it by myself manually. You could change it if you want. You could also work on the audio resampling, and by default is always on high. Then you could check about Alight Motion, privacy settings, help center, email support. You could also follow them on the social media accounts. All right, then in this section, this contact section, you could log in. I do not log in though. You could log in to maybe make it a little bit personalized to you. So sign in, put in your subscription info and all of that. But me, since I'm using the cracked version already, I don't need to sign in. I just leave it like that, right? And you don't need to sign in too. Then you can watch tutorials, download the project, and learn about Alight Motion in this first page. All right, Alight Motion 5.0 is here, posted on May 30th, 2023, and it has features you've been waiting for, which is time ramping, template editor, presets, creator rewards, and all of those stuff. So you could see all of this here. These are like templates you could download and maybe edit them by yourself, and you could also watch how they do all of this amazing stuff. All right, you could watch how all of this stuff is done and you're good to go. Then the next part is another page dedicated. This page is basically about Alight Motion, what is latest updates and all of those stuff. Then I'll go on to the next one, which is tutorials. So in these tutorials here you could see some effects and learn how they created it. Okay, you could see some effects, like you can see here, getting started part 1. If you're getting started, basically you could watch these videos here to at least get used to the app, quick reference, effects browser, quick reference erasing, and all of this stuff here, importing of fonts. And guy, this is just so much for free. Then you could also learn how to create all these bulbs, bursts rather. All right, You could also learn more using the control pad and all of this stuff here. Okay, then on the middle section you have this plus icon, and this plus icon is to create projects or templates. All right, so if you click the plus icon now, you see projects and elements. Here you can name your project. You can name your project as let's see, let me just name mine here. Select all. Oops. Select all and name it as Alight Motion Interface. All right, you can name it as anything. You could also select the aspect ratio. So all of this area here is to choose the aspect ratio. You could use landscape 16:9, 9:16, which is the portrait, or the portrait. You could also use 4:5 square and 4:3, and also a customize one, which is this one here. You could customize it by yourself. All right, I'm putting your size, maybe your WhatsApp screen size, and all of those stuff. Then the resolution is by default set to, okay, this is the previous I was in a custom size, and you can see here it was set to 720 by 1600. All right, and the frame rate is set to 30 frames per second, and the background by default is light gray. You could change this. You could change this here. You could choose other colors. You could make it transparent. Okay, then also the same thing applies to elements. To the same thing, just that in elements you cannot set a background. All right, okay, so then let me go back and go to templates. So in templates, it's basically Alight Motion's own template, and templates that you might have installed by yourself. So like here I have some templates installed, and anytime I want to use any template of my choice, I could just click it and import it to my project. All right, so going back to projects now, when you go to projects, you would see all the works you've done, just like I can see all the works I've done here, and some templates. You see them here, and also in your elements you would also see your elements. All right, so as we proceed, you would understand the difference between projects and elements and how to use them. All right, so that's about it for the outer interface. Now let's go on to the inner interface. I'm going to create a new project here. I'll call it Alight Motion Interface. Alight Motion Interface. All right, then I'm going to set the aspect ratio to 16:9, and the resolution I'll leave it the same way it is, and every other thing, and create. Boom. So once you create, click on create. It's going to how to install system apps on your Android. I don't want to watch it yet. Okay, so it's going to be like this when you create it here. Now at the top here you have an option to go back. You also have an option to edit the name of your file. This is where to go back, edit the name of your file, check on the settings, and this is to export. All right, then right here is where you have this is your canvas, just like in Pixel app or anything. This is where the preview, this is where whatever you're working on would show here. This is like the preview. Okay, everything you're working on will show here. Then, like you should know, this is the undo and redo. All right, then this is to go back to a particular timestamp. This is to go forward to a particular timestamp. This is to play. Then this is to add layers and other layer setting. Then here there are other additional settings here. All right, so let me just try to then this plus icon is to add elements for add elements, typography, and everything. So now let's start by showing you an example. All right, so let's say I add a square here. Once you create a new element, you're going to see other options. Now for these ones, you would learn it more as we proceed. All right, you will get used to them as we proceed. All of this stuff here, this is to adjust the timer. Okay, I don't like that brush. This is to adjust the timer. This one here, adjust timer. This is to trim backward. This is to split. This is to trim forward. This is audio, right? This is color fill, to fill your color. This is to add strokes or border or shadows. Then this is to work on the blend mode, opacity, and maxing. This is to edit a particular element, to transform or move it. This is to edit the shape. When you click a new shape, an option to edit is going to come up. Then these are presets, and this is where you add your effects. All right, so now let's do them little by little. Okay, if you check now, once you add a new element here, like this rectangle here, you would see it is named rectangle up here. So you can always edit the name of your elements. And this option now, this new option comes up where you could add a special effect on that particular layer. You can also delete the layer and find more options here. All right, so as we proceed, like I said before, you would know how to use them. So let's do a quick experiment. So once you add a new layer, you can add any shape, by the way. Let's see. If you click this 3-dotted line, you have some options to save it to your elements, to flip it horizontally, to flip it vertically, to fit to composition area, to fill composition area, to stretch to composition area, to create a clipping mask, to convert to outline, and many other things. You can also change the color directly here. So if I click this, where is it? Okay, that's not to change the color, that's to kind of like label the layer. You get, for those used to Photoshop, you could confirm this where you can label a layer. Let's say you want to create something important and you want to differentiate it more by labeling them instead of just naming them. You could just add the label with any color of your choice. So once you click it here, you could edit the name here and say this is body. Let's say we call this body. If you want to create something, then you could convert to outline. If you click convert to outline, it's going to, where's that? Where is it? Where's the outline? Convert to outline. Okay, that doesn't show. Let me see. Okay, once you click convert to outline, it changed the image from a normal shape before. Now see what happens here. I'll show you the difference now. Notice this place now is called a shape. All right, it's a shape now, but when we convert it to outline, it transforms to, let's redo that. It transforms to a vector, kind of, where you can edit the points. So you can edit the points individually now. You get, initially you will not be able to do that. Okay, and in our previous video we talked about keyframe rather. We talked about keyframe, where it marks the beginning and end of motion. So let's say we wanted to edit the shape to be like that. So at this, let me try to put it back in the normal stage. We could create a keyframe here to edit the shape. Now this can only work when you've turned it to an outline. All right, so let me show you where I want to add keyframes for shapes here. See this plus this icon here, you see the keyframe icon there. So let's say I click keyframe now, and at the beginning I want it to be like this, but somewhere around here I want this guy to okay, not that. Let me put it back normal. I did not add the keyframe. Okay, let's say at the beginning I want it to be like this, and at this point here I want this guy to go up like this, and this one to, don't worry, as we continue you would know how to do all of this stuff. And this guy too, at this point is still normal, and here it should go up to like this. All right, you can also add curves on it. Go to the next point, and and add the same curve. So this is what it's going to look like. Do you understand? So that is what happens when you change it to shape, to outline. All right. So there are various options, and as we proceed, you would know how to work with all of this. This can easily help you to transform a shape when you are animating a particular project. All right. So that's about that for the interface. So now let's go on to other features down here. So for this, you can increase the speed of the elements here, or the speed of this particular layer here. You can increase the speed here. Increase the speed here. You could trim it here. So now let's imagine we want to trim from 15 frames. We want to trim this way out, so to trim it to this particular timestamp here. So now this guy here is kind of like your ruler or your guide to tell you where you are. This tiny guy here, this slim guy that has this other time frame here, is the one that helps you to tell what particular time you are in. So we are splitting at 14 seconds, and it's going to clear out that part. So let's say we want to split every other second outside after this one. So split it. And let's say we want to divide it into two. It comes like this, and it creates a new layer with the same label and everything. You understand? So let's say we want to do it like this, that once we get to this point, we want it to change color. We just click color here and change to another color. All right. So this is how it's going to be. If you play, give it a play, it's going to be like this. All right. So that's about that. Then every other thing follows suit here. As we proceed, you're going to know how to use every other tool in Alight Motion. All right, without wasting much time, let's go on to a new project.